Hi, I'm Micah, and today we're going to go over how to make a table of contents using markers in Camtasia. First, open the project you're working on. Next, on the left side of the timeline, you'll see a little drop-down arrow. If it's not already dropped down, click it to drop down the menu. In this menu, it has quiz and marker. Make sure marker is selected. Now that the marker is selected, every time you hover over either this top track or on the track above the media, you'll see a little blue plus icon. This will add a marker if you click it. So for this, we're going to add a couple markers here. I'm going to add a marker here in between this media and add a marker here in between this media. I'm going to call them marker 1 and marker 2, but we can rename those. If I click on marker 1 and go to the right side panel, I can rename it to first steps. And the marker 2 I can name to do later, or whatever makes sense for the chapters in your videos. After you've named your markers and added as many as needed, remember you can add markers on the media as well. If it makes sense for you to have it on your media instead of up here on the timeline, you can do that. After you've added all the markers that you need for the different chapters of your content, you can click on export. Next, do local file, name your project, select the file type as MP4 with Smart Player, set where you're going to export to or your save location, check all your other settings that you might need, and head over to the Smart Player tab. Make sure Use Hosted Smart Player Files is selected. Now, markers only work when using TechSmith Smart Player. So, if you're exporting a video with markers, make sure you do MP4 with Smart Player. Because when you go to play it back, you're actually playing back the HTML file instead of just the MP4 file. Let me show you how that looks. If we open the file location for this project that I exported, you'll see a couple different things. You'll have a couple thumbnails, the player HTML, some configuration files, some CSS files, your MP4, and another HTML file that's the same name as your MP4 file. If we try and just play this MP4 file, you'll notice that there isn't a table of contents here. Since there's no table of contents there, we need to make sure we're opening the HTML file. So find the HTML file with the same name as your original video, double click it to open it in a web browser, and here you'll see if you play the video back, you can have this button right here that opens up your table of contents. You have the introduction, first steps marker, and to do later, like I had marked in the video. That's how you can make a video with table of contents. Another thing you can do with the table of contents in Camtasia is export to YouTube. And YouTube, if you export directly, will also show a table of contents. Let me show you that here. First, once your video is done and you've added markers, you'll want to click on export. Instead of doing local file this time, click on YouTube. Once you're signed into your page or your YouTube account, you can title the project Test for Table Contents. You can add a description if needed, any tags you'd like to, the category you'd like to do. I'm going to do education for this one, and whether you want it as unlisted, public, or private. Then click export. Wait for the render to finish, and then it will upload the video to your YouTube channel. You'll notice after it's done loading that the video has a table of contents with sections on the video: introduction, first steps, and to do later. Also, in the comments, you'll be able to click through the table of contents to the different sections of that video. And there you go. That's how you can add a table of contents to your videos with Camtasia.